well, but I do have a Bible for it for the benefit of those who don't know it so well, so I'll go into that right now. So Glenn Rourke had a 35-year career with the Bank of Montreal, retiring in 2005. He was as Senior Vice President and Managing Director. His years at the bank included 10 years living in Tokyo, Singapore, and Hong Kong. He's a native of Quebec City, and he graduated from Queens with a BA and a Bachelor of Physical and Health Education. Then it was on to Western for an MBA. In addition to his accomplishments as an international factor, he's had a remarkable career in public service. Since the 1980s, he was actively involved in healthcare, supporting the Yale University Health Center as chair of the Royal Vic Foundation, and serving on the boards of the MUHC and its Research Institute. He has served as a director on several corporate boards and was awarded the Canadian Confederation Medal in recognition for his services for the Canadian YMCA movement. Glenn's personal interests have been towards sports and the outdoors, mountain climbing in the Rockies, an outward bound program in Thunder Bay, trekking to mountain gorillas in Rwanda and Uganda. He recalled to me an encounter in the jungle when he was up nose to nose with a huge silverback gorilla. That's the kind of memory you don't forget. Today, he'll share with us his Arctic canoeing adventure on Baffin Island. Closer to home, he's an avid golfer and curler. As with his other interests, participation for Glenn has meant service too. So it's no surprise to learn that he was past president of the Royal Montreal Golf Club. And ever since he joined RMCC, Glenn has been a constant contributor in many ways, small and large, such as chair of the Ice Committee. On Wednesday mornings, we senior curlers are mostly content to park ourselves around the table, shoot the breeze, and wait for the starting bell for the matches to begin. Glenn arrives, says hi to a few people, but before long, he's quietly making his way to the ice to nip it or clean it or do something. He's always doing something. That's just the way he rolls. He's been married to photographer Sylvia for 23 years, and between them, they have 4 daughters and 4 grandchildren. I'm sure you're eager to hear about his adventure in the far north, so please give him a warm welcome and we'll get on with the show.
Thank you, Jim. Can everybody hear me? This is being picked up okay?
Yep.
So, I have... Maybe I'll just stand here. Is that okay? You can look at the screen. Does that work? All right. So, So, thank you very much, Jim, for those kind words. Some I was aware of, some I wasn't. And thank you, everybody, for turning out in such good numbers. I know almost all of you. So, this was a great experience for me in 2004, so I'm happy to share with you. It's going to take me 35 minutes or so to get through this, but I kind of divided up. I'm going to try to tell you a story about it, and the best thing that could happen is you could get inside my head, which is quite empty, as most people know, and kind of live some of the trip with me. And I divided it up. There were 9 events that I want to talk about. So if that works, here we go. So we can get, all right. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so just to put things in perspective, I want to tell you, as a caveat, what the trip is not, or was not, and what it was. So So you see the three pictures out there. Gabriel Philippi addressed this club at a luncheon like this. Incredible mountaineer from Canada, almost lost his life several times on the Mount Everest. Top right, Adam Schultz, who just finished his book. He canoed solo from the north shore of Lake Erie down around the Niagara Falls, Lake Ontario, St. Lawrence River. He hung a left somewhere around the Blanc Sablon or whatever, and ended up in the Arctic in the search of the peregrine falcon, alone, 3 or 4 months. Incredible. Boris Kreslin I put in there because I've climbed with Boris Kreslin in the Rockies. Boris Kreslin is the first Canadian to have summited Mount Everest. He's quoted in Gabriel's book, They Know Each Other. And what was interesting to me is he introduced me to Edmund Hillary, who was the first recorded person to climb Everest. And Sylvia and I, on one of our trips to India, to Darjeeling, we went to the shrine of Tenzing Norgay Sherpa, who was the Sherpa for both Rourke and Sir Edmund Hillary. So, this is not that. These people are in a whole class of their own. They're wonderful, amazing people. So what is it? Well, in 2004, on the internet somewhere, we found an ad, an advertisement, whatever it was, to go on an adventure. So 14 women and men signed up. We're all novices. We don't really know much what we're doing, from very different walks of life. 3 from Australia, 2 from Canada, the rest from the States. We had 3 guides, 1 Inuit and 2 others. So our flotilla was 9 canoes, and we were 8 or 9 days, I think it was 8 days, on the river, 5 campsites. 60 kilometers coming down the river. Not that far, but we used to stop and explore and all that stuff. We did hit class 1, class 2, and in one case, class 3 rapids, which is interesting. But we were most importantly, we were introduced to the Arctic. The Arctic, the sun, there's lots of it, there's more wind, there's more rain, and the biggest thing are the bugs. It was beautiful. So that's what the trip was, or is. So, okay. First thing is, no, that's too far. So, where is Baffin Island? Well, if you look behind me, it's up there somewhere due north. That's a shot of the world from a satellite, I guess, and you can see the North Pole. On the left side is Baffin Island, where we put it in red. The blue one is the Arctic Circle. So for all practical purposes, Iqaluit, which is the capital of Nunavut, is on the Arctic Circle. It is 2,000 kilometers north of Montreal or Ottawa. It's 3.5 or almost 4 hours. And it's across the Hudson Strait from Quebec. From a different perspective on the next slide, which is the way the crow flies, that's it. So you go straight up to Iqaluit. That blue line is about as far as if you go the other way out to Regina. So it's pretty far. And Canada is so big that if you want to go to Ellesmere Island, which is the most farther north part, it's another 1,000 kilometers. It's huge. So once you get to Iqaluit, which is the jumping off point, like what do? Up on the right, you can't read the name, but that is Iqaluit. The blue line is the Soper River. So you gotta get from Iqaluit to the Soper River, 45 minutes by Twin Otter, land on a landing strip, which you'll see. You paddle down, slope down, whatever you do down to Kimmerut, and then it's 1 hour back by Twin Otter. So both Iqaluit and Kimmerut are Frobisher Bay was the name of Iqaluit. So these were old Hudson's Bay trading posts. So here we start now. Here's a picture of myself and my buddy Al. Al and I have known each other since Tokyo, which is in the early 70s, the godfather of my kids. The important thing is, you see the blue bag? For those of you who have canoed, that's a river bag. Point is, and especially when you're way up north, you want to make sure that if the canoe capsizes, you don't lose your gear, whether it's your food, whether it's your clothes, whether it's whatever. So you stuff it in the river bag, and the river bag becomes waterproof when you tie it all together. We were limited to 2 river